Hey everyone, Nigel and Luke here, and welcome to Crime Zone. Before we get to today's video, we wanted to announce that Crime Zone's official Patreon page is now live. In addition to ad-free videos and other extras, patrons will also get access to weekly bonus videos for our Crimes of the Week and Crimes of the Week International series. So if you want even more Crime Zone content, head over to patreon.com/crimezone for exclusive cases not featured in today's video.
Authorities in Worcester, Massachusetts say that a 38-year-old woman is in custody this week after she stole a vehicle and led them on a chase which ended at a local McDonald's. According to reports, the incident began around 8:45 on Tuesday morning when Joanna Gardell stole a pickup truck belonging to a company called Raymond James Restoration while they were at a job site on Lake Avenue. Unbeknownst to Gardell, the vehicle had a GPS tracking device in it, allowing police to quickly catch up with her. However, stopping Gardell proved to be more dangerous than they initially imagined. The first time officers spotted and approached the stolen vehicle, Gardell began to drive erratically, speeding through red lights and driving on the wrong side of the road to avoid capture. She was spotted a second time when she slammed into a van a short distance away and was again approached by police. After reversing into a police cruiser and dragging an officer who attempted to open up the vehicle's doors, Gardell drove off. This time, authorities decided to abandon the car chase, choosing instead to track Gardell until she stopped somewhere where it was safer to detain her. A short time later, police got their opportunity when Gardell stopped at a McDonald's drive-thru to order chicken nuggets. Police called the restaurant and asked employees to stall her and prepared to make their arrest. When they arrived, Gardell tried to escape for a third time, but got the vehicle stuck in some mulch in a grassy area bordering the restaurant. While police removed her from the vehicle and took her into custody, she attempted to tell them that the vehicle belonged to her. They replied that the name of the company she stole it from was written on the side of the truck. Gardell now faces a number of charges, including leaving the scene of an accident, assault and battery by means of a dangerous weapon, and operating a motor vehicle with a suspended license. Thankfully, the officer who was dragged during the car chase is said to have sustained non-life-threatening injuries.
Authorities in Raleigh, North Carolina announced that a young man is facing 40 misdemeanor charges this week, just a few days after a venomous snake he owned was captured loose near his home. According to reports, police were alerted to the situation on June 28th, when they received a call about a mysterious snake near their home in North Raleigh. The reptile turned out to be a spitting zebra cobra belonging to 21-year-old Christopher Gifford, who lived half a mile away. When police investigated the home where Gifford lived with his parents, they found roughly 75 other snakes in the basement, many of which were also highly dangerous. Though owning these kinds of reptiles as pets is not illegal in North Carolina, there are rules that owners are supposed to follow, several of which Gifford had ignored. The animals were allegedly seized after it was discovered that they were not being kept in the proper enclosures, and that some had been mislabeled, which is also a violation. To make matters worse, the missing zebra cobra in question reportedly escaped almost a year ago, in November of 2020, but Gifford never informed police. Thankfully, the snake was captured 2 days after it was spotted, and no one was harmed. Of the 40 misdemeanor charges that Gifford now faces, 36 are a result of storing the reptiles in improper enclosures. The 4 remaining charges are for mislabeling those enclosures, as well as failing to report the zebra cobra's escape.
This week, authorities in Portland, Oregon announced that a recent active shooting incident had miraculously resulted in injuries only to the suspect after neighbors intervened and detained him until police could arrive. According to reports, the situation unfolded at approximately 1 a.m. on June 29th at the Stevens Creek Crossing apartment complex in southwest Portland. That's when an altercation began between 32-year-old Luke Stolarczyk and another resident at the complex named Kenneth Nelson. Witnesses allege that Stolarczyk became enraged after Nelson's dog got loose from the apartment and the two men began shouting at each other. After the fight was briefly broken up by another neighbor named John Dixon, it seemed like the fight was over. However, Stolarczyk went back to his home and grabbed a rifle, after which he began to fire in the direction of Nelson in his apartment. During the attack, nearly 30 rounds were fired, hitting cars and homes in the densely populated complex. When the shooting started, Dixon grabbed a stick and managed to sneak up on Stolarczyk, who is said to have been highly intoxicated at the time. After smacking Stolarczyk in the back of the head, Dixon managed to wrestle the weapon away and proceeded to beat him into unconsciousness. Other neighbors helped Dixon hogtie Stolarczyk until authorities could arrive. Stolarczyk was arrested on Monday after spending several days in the hospital. Police say that he was the only one injured during the attack. He reportedly has a history of alcohol abuse and mental health issues, and has used guns in the past to threaten himself and family members. Stolarczyk now faces numerous charges, including attempted murder.
Authorities in the city of Hiram, Georgia, say that a 34-year-old man is in custody this week after he seriously injured several people during a combined shooting and vehicle ramming attack. The incident took place shortly after 11:30 p.m. on Saturday, when a man named Eduardo Morales was asked to leave the club by security due to intoxication. Witnesses said that when he was denied service, he smashed 2 bottles together and was thrown out by a bouncer. Though that should have been where the situation ended, Morales returned to the club approximately 20 minutes later, driving a black Dodge Ram 2500 pickup truck. He proceeded to fire several shots through the window of his vehicle and into the club, before driving the truck through the front door, hitting a number of people in the process. After crashing through the entrance and hitting the bar, Morales tried to back the vehicle out, but got stuck. He was pulled out of the truck and detained by several patrons of the club, while he attempted to reload his gun, presumably to fire again at those inside. Police took him into custody a short time later. According to reports, at least one person was grazed by a bullet and another was hit by the truck twice. Numerous others sustained broken bones or crushing injuries as a result of the attack. Thankfully, authorities say that all of the victims are expected to survive.
A terrifying home invasion story was reported out of California this week after a man and his wife were attacked by an intruder during breakfast. The incident unfolded around 8:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning when a couple in their 60s were quietly sharing a meal in their home in Fairfield. After hearing knocks at the door, they went to investigate, but did not answer after they checked their home's doorbell security camera and determined that they did not know the man. That's when the unknown person began to kick down the door. Once the door was broken, the man attempted to gain entry, but was quickly shot by the husband. The suspect fled after being injured and ran across the street where he collapsed. Police arrived on the scene a short time later, and the suspect was pronounced dead at around 9 a.m. Authorities say that not only was the suspect in possession of a loaded gun at the time of the home invasion, he was out on parole for a violent crime in Alameda County. Investigators say it is unclear why the homeowners in Fairfield were targeted, and that they had no prior connection to the suspect. None of the names of those involved have been released at the time of this recording.
An Ohio man is facing a first-degree misdemeanor charge this week after he allegedly called and reported a fake shooting to distract police after he was pulled over. The incident took place last Saturday afternoon on July 3rd, when 34-year-old Muhammad Kabir was pulled over outside a Walmart supercenter in South Euclid, Ohio. In addition to driving with both a suspended license and expired plates, his 2-year-old son, who was with his wife in the back seat of the vehicle, was not sitting in a car seat. Instead of accepting that he was going to receive multiple traffic citations, Kabir instead apparently decided that the best course of action was to try and avoid the situation altogether by calling 911 and reporting a fake shooting near the Walmart in an attempt to distract the officers that had pulled him over. Unfortunately for Kabir, the call was traced back to his cell phone and was found to be a match to where he had been pulled over for the traffic stop. He was then arrested for making a false report. In addition to Kabir's first-degree misdemeanor charge for the false report, he faces numerous charges for his traffic violations.
Authorities in Houston, Texas say that 2 people are dead and another person is injured this week after a shooting at the city's downtown aquarium. The incident took place just after 8 p.m. on Thursday when 28-year-old Gabriel Mariones Vargas and his 24-year-old wife were having dinner in the bar area of the aquarium's second-floor restaurant. That's when they were approached by 39-year-old Danny Cazares, who opened fire on them before turning the gun on himself. Both Vargas and Cazares were pronounced dead at the scene, while Vargas's wife was taken to the hospital. She is said to be in stable condition. It is believed that the crime was completely random and that there was no connection between Cazares and the victims before he attacked them. The couple was apparently visiting the Houston Aquarium while on vacation from New York. At the time of the shooting, authorities say that Cazares was out on bond for 3 charges, including felony possession of a weapon and criminal mischief. He reportedly suffered from schizophrenia and had been hospitalized in the past.
If you're a regular viewer of our Crimes of the Week series, you'll know that last week we covered an alarming story out of Georgia after golf professional Gene Siller and 2 other men were found murdered at the Pine Tree Country Club in Cobb County. Siller had been shot in the head after investigating a mysterious white pickup truck that had pulled onto the 10th hole of the golf course. When police subsequently investigated the abandoned vehicle, they found the bodies of 2 other men inside, one of whom was the vehicle's owner, 76-year-old Paul Pearson. At the time we recorded that segment, the suspect was still at large, and few other details about the case had yet to be released. Thankfully, this week, we are able to provide you with an update. On Thursday evening, the Southeast Regional Fugitive Task Force, led by the U.S. Marshals, announced that they had taken 23-year-old Brian Roden into custody in connection with all 3 of the murders. He surrendered in the city of Chambly, roughly 25 miles southeast of where the victims were discovered. Additional details about the case have also been released at this time. It was reported that Siller was likely targeted by Roden after witnessing a crime in progress, namely the transporting of the bodies of the other 2 victims. The 3rd victim has been identified as 46-year-old Henry Valdez. Both he and Pearson were from out of state, with Valdez residing in California and Pearson in Kansas. Police say that they are still investigating a connection between Roden, Valdez, and Pearson, and are working to establish a motive behind the killings. They declined to specify how they determined that Roden was their suspect, but stated that his name had surfaced in their investigation within a few days, and that he was the sole person responsible for the murders. Roden has been charged with 3 counts of felony murder, 3 counts of aggravated assault, and 2 counts of kidnapping. That's it for this edition of Crimes of the Week. If you enjoyed our video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Crime Zone for more true crime content like this, making sure to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest releases. Thank you for watching.